Generation X and Z is not seeing how dangerous the therapy movement is because they've never had any reason to question it. In the event that people are reporting to the thought police, who the fuck is better? Able, who has the best option for reporting you to the thought police than your therapist? People forget or don't know or weren't born. It was back in the early 1980s. Once there was an internet or a centralized cyberspace, uh, at that time in the 80s, I'm backtracking, mental health and medical records were considered extremely private and sacrosanct. Little is this remembered or known. Sometime in the 1980s, the mental health establishment very graciously complied with the government and rendered virtually all, well, anything pharmaceutical, I know that for a fact. Anyone who has received a psych med, even from a general practitioner, that information goes into a central computer bank, and any government agency could get that information without a search warrant. Anyhow, where was I going with this horse shit? Oh yeah, supposedly at that time they were saying nothing spoken to a therapist was available. That probably changed. Any diagnosis people may have received is probably public domain to the federal and state and possibly local government. So once again, I reiterate, if the thought police want to kill you based on a diagnosis or the medications you received, or things you said to a therapist in supposed strict confidence, if the government doesn't already have that information, they can get it on request without a warrant. So the thought police are probably, they probably have an ear, more figuratively speaking, to your therapist's door. But it's a little odder than that. There's something else. My God. This is another, you hear water splashing. This is another bathtub dialogue or bathtub monologue, forgive me. What was I going to say about that? Oh, fuck's sake, yes. You see, over the last 60 years, there's been radical changes in thought, in mental health. Years ago, it was believed schizophrenia was caused by capitalism, the distress people are placed under, and if only capitalism was eliminated, there would be no schizophrenia. Since then, they realized it's a hereditary condition that people get in all cultures. So that story about capitalism is bullshit. It was also believed criminality was caused by capitalism. In reality, there's organized and street crime virtually everywhere in all cultures. Law enforcement is always a problem in all cultures, and capitalism is not at fault for mental illness, the supposed split personality. People have always been lying, duplicitous pieces of shit. And it's not capitalism that makes them do it. Communists are just as duplicitous, just as divided within between ethics and what they need to do to keep from being sent to a gulag or starved to death or forced into the welfare system, in which case one's opinion doesn't matter because it isn't heard. But I started off with the therapy movement. There was a period in which Freudian analysis was popular and then debunked. It's believed people have a subconscious mind who is the ego and the superego, whatever those fucking things were, I forgot. But current thinking is behaviorism, and you can't treat any mental or behavioral problem by accessing the subconscious. The free association crap. Whatever, it's all bullshit. The current trend is somewhat valid and legitimate. Some assholes getting into arguments at work. One must address the fact, what is wrong with the behavior? How does one correct it? And that shit is probably open to the federal government, should they want to know. What's up with you? There's something I don't know. There may be private licensed counselors who do not report anything to anyone. That may be true. Generally, people who are going to community clinics, pretty much the CIA knows what they're thinking or who they are if they want to know. Still, I do believe, from what I've heard by reliable sources, if you received a psych med, like if you received if you received a prescription of, for instance, Xanax, that's a psych med, and it's in a computer database, and the government can deduce that you used that med. If Luvox was used to treat obsessive compulsive disorder, if the government decides that's the worst thing in society and they need to be exterminated, exterminate the brutes, they can find you by looking at your medication history, and if you got it through a physician, the government knows what you took. Anyhow, that's my short rant for today. Enjoy, be well, don't worry, be cautious.